Anthony Davis so far this year has played in a total of 71 games, which is already the most action he's ever been in since his 2017 season with the Pelicans. And recently, the Los Angeles Lakers have won 7 out of their last 8 games. And over this stretch, no team has had an answer for Anthony Davis, who right now is easily one of the most impactful two-way players across the league. Now, over the last 2 seasons, AD has made some pretty straightforward adjustments to his offensive game, which is simply play around the basket more. This year and last year, under 23% of AD's total field goal attempts were outside jumpers, which is a pretty significant dip compared to his previous 2 seasons. Now this year, Davis has been doing a big chunk of his work rolling towards the basket. Obviously, AD's height and reach is enough by itself to make him an easy above the rim lob threat.
Into the paint, lobs it up, and Davis throws it down.
And then on top of that verticality, Davis also has the coordination to catch on the floor and stride into finishes. Throughout this season, the LeBron and AD two-man game has been pretty much unstoppable. James in pick and roll is still one of the best passers across the league today. Plus, at 39 years old, he's also a real scoring threat when coming off of these screens. And that makes life for AD as the roll man pretty easy. You'll see James and AD here playing a two-man game with an empty corner. And notice how LeBron's scoring threat forces this big to step up and meet the ball, but that in return leaves nobody left down low to deal with Davis. Another big factor to this two-man game is LeBron's ability to scan and read the entire floor. On this play, we'll again see this big step up to meet James at the level of the screen. But because James has the ability to dot both of these shooters, these off-ball defenders are hesitant to rotate down in the paint, which leads to another wide open lob to the rolling AD. When catching on these short rolls, it's also really apparent that AD is primarily looking to catch and attack downhill. There's many plays where Davis will catch with enough space to rise up for a 15-foot pull-up, but AD instead elects to put the ball down and get all the way to the cup. Notice here how much space Davis gets on the catch, but again, watch him take one dribble and extend to the rim. I also think Davis this year has gotten much better at cutting off the ball. Instead of spotting up on the perimeter and being a typical stretch 5, Davis now looks to cut into open space and catch with a head of steam towards the basket. Right here, notice how the defense is pretty much ignoring AD at the top of the key, but instead of staying glued up, watch him cut into this easy and one. This is also a nice read here, where Davis simply reads Giannis being honed in on the ball, opening up this backdoor cut along the baseline.
Inside, what a pass! Davis!
And again, another big factor is that AD is playing alongside some really advanced playmakers. You'll see him here in semi-transition come across, as if he's going to set this ball screen for James. But watch AD instead cut back door, and LeBron from the logo puts up this lob that's right on the money. We can see the same thing here with D'Angelo Russell, where Davis again slips towards the basket, and D'Lo whips this one-hand bounce pass that hits AD right in stride. Another big factor to Davis's scoring is going to be his touch. AD has a great feel for sinking these extended out 8 to 10 foot push shots, which he can use to easily elevate over traffic and lane. You'll see him here catch with the towering Brook Lopez waiting for him in the paint. And watch Davis just simply rise up off of 2 feet and sink the soft push shot. And I wouldn't classify this as settling too. This year, AD is shooting over 53% on all his floaters and hook shots, which is a really efficient number. You'll see him here catch just above the free throw line, and watch him take one dribble into open space, to then rise up for another soft floater over the defense. Throughout this season, a lot of AD's usage has also been in the post, where Davis does his best work by being aggressive and keeping the game simple. On the block, AD plays with a lot of physicality. He loves to attack the defense's chest and bump his way into finishes. You'll see him here start this play facing up, and watch him drop down into this drive to then lower his shoulder into this defender's body and bulldoze him completely underneath the basket. And when you pair that physicality along with AD's height and reach, you have a guy that's a walking mismatch down low. You'll see the Pacers here try to throw a double team at the ball, but watch how Davis is just going to turn towards the baseline to generate 2 points.
Turn and he will miss it right at the rim, but he's got it again.
Now, if the defense is able to wall off AD and keep him from extending all the way to the rim, that's when Davis will typically lean back on his touch and get to these hook and push shots. And because Davis is such a physical downhill driver, he commonly forces defenders to get into a low stance to hold their ground. But that in return gives Davis a window to score from over the top. Notice here how Nic Claxton gets into a low stance and throws his way forward to wall off AD, and he's successfully able to keep him outside of the restricted area. But Davis from here can easily elevate over him for 2 points. Now in spots, Davis will take outside jumpers to keep the defense honest. And while he's not the most efficient outside scorer, he's still a good enough shot maker that the defense has to at least step up to meet him on the catch, which gives Davis the leverage to attack downhill. When facing up, I think AD does his best work by keeping the game simple, by just attacking the defense's body to then use his length and strength to rise up around the basket. When playing with the ball out beyond the paint, I also think Davis has a really underrated first step. Being able to explode and get the defense to open up their stance, where he can then use his size to create finishes. This is a nice move right here, where the Lakers are going to clear out the entire right side of the floor for AD and watch him put the ball down and skate his feet up, which allows him to pick up some momentum into this drive. And notice how he's going to again attack the defense's chest to then step through for a right-left Euro step. And Davis also has the ability to initiate drives off a live dribble, where his blend of strength and quickness allows him to cook opposing team centers out on the perimeter. You'll see him here playing with the ball back and forth, and as he gets to this right to left between, notice how he's going to again skip his feet up, which allows him to load up and get this easy blow by. Now, when jumping ahead and looking into the postseason, I think AD's defense is going to be vital for the Lakers. Obviously, Davis right now is one of the best rim protectors across the league, where his size alone eliminates and alters countless of shots every game. When Davis is in the paint, he also has this force field effect around the basket, where his presence alone pushes the offense out into less efficient extended out pull-ups. And what I think really makes Davis special is his ability to also step up and guard outside of the paint, where he has really good balance and mobility, being able to keep himself in front of the ball to then use his height and reach to affect the shot. And all these physical attributes make Davis one of the best defenders in pick and roll, where he has the size to be really effective in drop, plus the ability to step up and bother the ball handler. I like this play right here, where the Heat are initially setting up to run some staggered screens, and watch Bam Adebayo slip back door. But from this spot, Davis has the ability to scramble back down and take away this lob. And because Davis has such a big wingspan, he can afford to give quicker and more agile players a slight cushion. You'll see him here get switched on to Damian Lillard, and notice how much of a cushion Davis is giving him off the bounce. But as Dame rises up, Davis can still extend up and make this a really difficult shot. So overall, Anthony Davis has the ability to massively affect the game on both ends of the court. Offensively, when Davis is being aggressive and primarily playing around the basket, he has the talent to overwhelm any backline defense. And then on the other side of the ball, Davis is a Swiss Army knife defender who has the physical tools to be an elite rim protector, plus the foot speed to step out and guard on the perimeter. There's absolutely no doubt that in order for the Lakers to make a deep playoff run, they need Anthony Davis to be consistently dominant on both ends of the court. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think of AD's game. The Kids here.